No plastic for 31 days in a rural town with 0 bulk stores within 200 miles. What could go wrong, right? Hey everyone, it's Amber with Sustainable Jungle, where we talk sustainability tips, tricks, hacks, products, brands, and stories to better our planet. Now, a few weeks ago, I made a video on Plastic-Free July and said that I would be trying the challenge this year. So this year, I highly encourage you to participate in Plastic-Free July. I am. And as I noted in that video, I've never actually done Plastic-Free July before. Not because I didn't care about it or anything, but because I already do a lot. You know, I shop at farmers markets, I recycle all my egg cartons, I do milk jar exchanges, I compost at home, I grow tons of my own food. Overall, I've been living low waste for years now, so I never really saw just pursuing a month of it as actually worth it for my personal journey. But this year I figured, why not actually go all in for a month and track it? Is it even possible for even a seasoned sustainability veteran like myself to go 100% plastic free for an entire month? Let's find out. But first, give us a quick like and a subscribe, and when you're done, check out the link in the description for more on our new membership options, which is now officially live on our website. So let's talk about the elephant in my very tiny room, food packaging. Now, as you may know, if you're a regular watcher, I live in a rural area, like very rural. As in, I live in the least populated state in the US, and the closest grocery store with a real bulk section is like 5 hours away in one of the next states over. So I can't just like waltz into Winco with my mason jars and a zero waste can-do attitude. I'm also a really big health nut, which means I eat a lot of specialty, organic, sustainably sourced food that I've done a lot of research to find brands and products that I like. And of course, that my local Safeway doesn't carry. And this is something that I am personally willing to compromise plastic for. If getting something in a little plastic bag means supporting greener agriculture, that's a trade-off that I am happy to make. Because personally, I think that inorganic agriculture poses a way bigger and more immediate risk to the planet than plastic. And if you want to know why I think that, please check out my video on biodiversity loss. And this is also a good demonstration of realistic sustainability trade-offs. Sometimes we can't get everything you want. You can't get something that is fully fair trade, organic, and plastic-free for everything. And for the things that we can, awesome, let's do it. But at some point, you'll likely need to weigh your values to find where you can compromise and where you can't. So this food, this healthy food thing, this is mine. This is the line that I have drawn. Now, where my town fails in bulk, it makes up for in an amazing local food support system. So that means that I can get things like milk, eggs, etc., all locally and all zero waste because we have this cute little year-round farm store that does carton and jar exchanges. So I do cut out a lot of waste right there alone. But this month, I did have to order something like rice and soma noodles because, again, no bulk stores here to get those sorts of things. But what I do in these cases is that I order the largest bags that I can, so it reduces the overall plastic to food ratio that I'm getting. I also needed more gochujang this month because it's gardening season, which means that I'm also making a ton of kimchi with my cabbage. And y'all know I love Korean food, period, so this is just a staple in my kitchen. And unfortunately, I've never found it not in plastic. If you know of a better packaged brand than this, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to learn about it. And yes, I know you can make your own, but it requires miso paste, which, spoiler alert, also pretty much comes in plastic tubs or bags. Now, no matter how hard I tried, there were still some other things I couldn't avoid either, like tape on boxes that were mailed to me. Now, I reuse a lot of the boxes and filler that I get for my own business, so it's not a total waste, but still. I also had to buy a new printer this month. This wasn't optimal for a lot of reasons, but it also wasn't optional. Like, I need it for my business, and mine was completely dying. Which, by the way, was one that I snagged many years ago on a Black Friday sale for like $20. So honestly, I feel like I gave my $20 printer a pretty decent life. Now, normally I'm a proponent of buying used tech first, but when people are getting rid of printers, it's not usually just because they upgraded for fun. So used printers are just kind of one of those things like used underwear. So my new one obviously came with lots of plastic wrapping around the printer itself, but the cables were not individually bagged. They were just in little cardboard compartment slots, so that was nice. And I did specifically opt for one that uses ink tank refills as opposed to traditional cartridges because they last way longer, which means less cartridge waste overall. And I mean, I would recycle my old ones, but my thought was always, are they actually getting recycled? I don't know. Plus, I'll save a ton of money on ink, which is also a nice bonus. I also specifically opted for a printer. It's the Canon Megatank, by the way, if anyone's interested, not sponsored. But I opted for one that was designed specifically so that I could easily clean and replace the print heads, which I think was actually the problem with my old printer because it was just making these awful lines to the point that you couldn't read anything even when you just put new ink in it. But I couldn't access the print heads on that printer to clean or replace them. So I bought this one with repairability in mind. And yes, even though it means it came in plastic, I'm hoping that it will last me 10 plus years. Again, this is one of those sustainability trade-offs that I was willing to make to invest in what I hope is a better and longer lasting overall product. I also dug a new pollinator garden bed in my yard and I wanted to mulch it with bark, which I had to buy in plastic bags here. But the mulch was something of an investment to protect the soil structure, prevent erosion, and act as a chemical-free weed suppressant. So again, it came in plastic, but its long-term sustainability benefits are something that I saw as worth the bags that were being used. So, was the month a home run success? Not by a long shot. And honestly, that realization is part of the point of this movement. The system isn't set up to make plastic-free living easy. But this month, if you participate, it can remind you that the intentional choices where you do have control in something add up. And personally, it also encouraged me to even think more mindfully about the plastic that I was choosing to purchase because I had to first weigh whether it was worth it or not. And I think if we can all just learn to do that a little bit more often in our lives, the impact would be massive. So if you had a go at Plastic Free July this year, I would love to hear how it went for you, so tell me about your experience in the comments. Let's swap tips and encouragement, not judgment, because as I always say, progress trumps perfection. Thanks so much for watching my Plastic Free July recap, and I hope to see you again next year, and maybe we'll all do better then. And be sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to find out. Again, my name is Amber with SJ, and happy August, y'all.